welcome to another episode of the Clarion Call. I'm Corrin Strong. Who are you?
I'm Dave Foot.
I thought so. You haven't seen David in a while. He's an awful busy guy. And he hasn't been here since we changed the name of the channel. So how are you feeling about day 3 here of the new Trump administration?
It's almost pretty much cured. A little warning. That was the first day.
We cured a lot this time.
Yeah.
How about free speech? Did we cure that yet?
Well, I think quite possibly.
Well, I thought it was very interesting. I don't know if you had time to watch the inauguration, but in the back row there, they had Elon Musk was the richest man in the world, but then they had Zuckerberg sitting there, and Jeff Bezos, and then they had the guy that runs Google. Now, he's only worth $1 billion. But between the four of them, they're almost $1 trillion sitting in the back row of high-tech people. And I'm just wondering, Elon's all about free speech. So I'm wondering, obviously Zuckerberg has said, he's going to back off. He's backed off on all the censoring and the park checks and all that. And I'm just wondering that, this guy from Google was there. Is he getting the message?
Well, the message is one.
Yeah, I think if you want to play in the new Trump administration, you're going to have to go along with free speech. But we're going to test that right now.
Okay.
Because Google, as you know, owns YouTube. And they've been kind of, the leaders in censoring people, especially me. And I tested it already before the inauguration. I put up a couple previously banned videos that YouTube had taken down in years past. So far, they're still up. How long they're going to stay up, I don't know. But we're really going to test it today because we have a new artist here. He goes by the name of Angry North. The name of his group is Boris's Kitchen. And the name of the song is Operation DePop. Can you guess what it's about?
Yeah, I think it gives a clear message.
We're going to find out if you're allowed to talk about the theory. And I'm not saying it's true or false. But the theory is that some of these people that think they're running the world believe that there's too many people in the world, too many of us mouths to feed, too many of us people emitting carbon, and we need to reduce carbon, and the carbon they want to reduce is us.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah. And in fact, some people would go so far to say that they've been working this plan for quite a while, and maybe that the recent, what we call pandemic, possibly with the pandemic, the cure was worse than disease.
Well, it wasn't curable.
Well, yeah. So in days gone by, you weren't allowed to question whether it was safe or effective. And now we question both. But beyond whether it was effective, we actually question whether it was more harmful than it was good. But he's taken this idea up one level more to say that this was actually a planned operation to depopulate the Earth. And that can work in two ways. Number one, it could kill you. And we obviously have heard of people dying suddenly after taking that treatment. But beyond that, it could also reduce fertility. And that's all they really got to do. Even if they don't kill you outright, if they can reduce your fertility, then eventually, the population is going to decrease. People can't have babies. So anyway, all of this is by way of introduction to this concept, and we're running a test here to see if we're allowed to even talk about this idea that possibly the real plan behind the pandemic was to get people to take a drug that could possibly lead to population decrease. Let's see what this fellow has to say about it. He's from England, so a lot of you are going to see in this video are from England, although you've got some other people from around the world. I don't recognize all of the faces. Let's give her a run.
You line up for all the juice we put in you, putting up with all of what we put you through, forgetting any lie in no time, or believing every lie was true.
I don't know this gentleman, but I recognize the first guy. You remember him?
Yeah.
Bill Gates?
Oh, Bill Gates, yeah. First.
Everybody knows Bill Gates. And a lot of people suspect that Bill Gates has been big in the depopulation. You know what's really scary? He was having dinner with Trump a few days ago at Mar-a-Lago.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, in a 3-hour conversation, and Trump said, I was very impressed. You don't want Bill Gates giving advice to Trump.
I think it's sharper than that. Trump.
Trump only says good things about everybody, so he likes him like that.
Giving up control over every little thing you might do. Thinking down is up if we tell you that's true.
And of course, that's the new king in England, King Charles. And I like what he said. Down is up. Whatever we tell you, you believe. We tell you down is up, you believe it. It's like George Orwell. He said, we're always at war with East Asia. And then all of a sudden it's changed. And they said, no, now we're always at war with Oceania. and everyone would chant, you know, like whatever they told them to say, they would believe. And that's pretty much where we're at.
Choosing the pleasing lie that we want to do good by you. Handing more control to us in every way. Every detail of your everyday. When if you'd listen, you could hear us say, we just want to send you away forever. Operation DePop.
You just want to see this way forever. You listen, they'll tell you. And they had a nice representative there. We saw Mr. Trudeau, we saw Mr. Biden, we saw the lady who was the Prime Minister of New Zealand.
Yeah, and it was the Prime Minister today, too.
He was brief to the Prime Minister. He didn't last very long. Yeah, Indian guy.
No, the black guy.
Oh, Boris. Yeah, Boris was back in the pandemic. There's been 3 or 4 since, and now they have the labor cut. But let's talk about the music. I think this guy is pretty darn good. Musically, and it reminds me a little bit of like the old King.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that guitar.
You're right, yep.
And the singing even a little bit kinky. I was contacted by the fellow. Andrew North is not his real name, but he sent me an email and said, hey, look at my song. So I looked at him, and I was really blown away by him. And I hope I'm not revealing too many secrets, but he did tell me that there is no Boris Pitch. It's all him. He's singing, he's playing the guitar. He originally was a drummer. Very talented. And very well put together. But here's the funny thing about it. He had virtually no views. And I think this one here, one of his better ones, has like 1,000 views. With the algorithms, something was screwing him up. Virtually nobody has reacted to him. And that's why he reached out to me and a couple other reactors to try to get somebody to pay attention. I'm going to bet that very few people are willing to take a chance. Because we're all living under this YouTube cloud of censorship. And we're all afraid. We could lose our channel. That's the big stick they want to get you. You know, like I've spent 2 years building up the channel, getting 1,700 subscribers, getting monetized, like we make $50 a year, you know. But to me, it's not that big of a deal. But if somebody's got 100,000 viewers and they're making actual money on their videos, they don't want to lose the channel. The fear. Kind of like, you know, in the Army, you just have to shoot one desert. Oh, yeah. And then the rest of them go, okay, what did you want us to do, sir? So I think that's kind of what YouTube philosophy is. Keep everybody in state fear. And then every now and then knock a channel off just to prove that you can do it.
But it is censorship.
Of course it's censorship. And it's the censorship that reactors have internalized. We don't even probably even realize. They're not really aware of how badly they're being controlled. People can say, well, you don't have a right to be on YouTube. That's true. On the other hand, what's become very obvious is that a lot of these social media companies were acting under the direct orders of the government. And that's a violation of free speech, or it should be. Because the government can't censor you by forcing these other companies to censor. The government's supposed to stay out of it. And of course, Mr. Trump said he's going to make sure that the government doesn't do that anymore. It may take a while to get the horse back in the barn in the future. They're the kings of censorship, as far as I'm concerned. Because they do it so suddenly. They do it so you hardly even notice you're being censored.
To end lives that you got. Operation DePop. Your fatal blind spot. Inventing crises from which to save you. You love it so when we come to your rescue. So happy to give away all that we take from you. Saving the planet's what we say we're gonna do. Our nice excuse for useless eaters like you, who choose not to see what is ugly, but is true. Obey what we say, that's just what you do. Each day and in every way, and right on cue. Dismissing any info that's different or new, while the carbon we want rid of is you.
The carbon we want rid of is you. But isn't that so true what he was saying there about people don't want to look at something that's ugly? And this idea is so ugly that people could be intentionally intending to kill off a large part of the population, either by direct death from some medical treatment or by infertility. Either way, it's so ugly that no one wants to even think that it could possibly be true. So they reject anything that's different or new. So it's like, I've been trying to tell them for 3 years anyway that this vaccination is good. And I know you tried to tell some of your family members. Just as I tried to tell people. But they don't want to hear it because it's not what they've been programmed to believe.
That's a new saying. I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah. It's cognitive dissonance. You can't hold both ideas at the same time. You can't hold the idea that your government is good and cares for you, and your government is trying to kill you. You know, you got to go one way or the other. You can't hold both those ideas at once. That was the original Rockefeller there, the guy with the white beard, John D. I think, or one of them. And they say that he was the one that perverted medical education and turned it from more holistic medicine to drug-based medicine.
They used oil.
They used oil. Yeah, all these synthetic drugs, a lot of them are made from oil. The Rockefeller Foundation started funding medical schools and hospitals or whatever, but then only if you were pushing their version of medicine. Reading here, very little work is in progress on immunological methods such as vaccine to reduce fertility, and much more research is required if a solution is to be found here. So they're telling you.
A vaccine to reduce fertility.
Yeah, a vaccine to reduce fertility. That's the holy grail. That's what they've been looking for a long, long time, and maybe they found it.
Intending to be ending you with your blind denial. It'll be easy to do. Nothing true ever gets through to unsustainable you. So it's Operation DePop. For surplus livestock. You don't see, so we won't stop.
All right. He's hammering that point home, isn't he?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, yeah.
If you're not going to pay attention, we're just going to kill you.
And if you do pay attention,
Well, if you're paying attention, you kind of dodge it here and dodge it there, avoid this vaccine. But, you know, they're working on some technology where you don't just have to vaccine one person and then they'll shed the vaccine to everybody around them. Or they'll put it in your food or in the air.
So David, how do you rate this song?
oh, that's a really perfect song. Actually, the music is incredible.
The music is great.
He thinks to more into like heavier metal song at the end. And
Yeah, a guy started as a drummer, which I was a drummer too, you know. It's very inspiring. He's got
The rhythm guitar.
yeah,
And then he was playing lead guitar in it.
right at the end, he was getting really like
The lead guitar was cooking.
Yeah, yeah,
But beyond the music, and the singing I think is very good,
yeah.
but the message, holy crap.
Both you and I and everybody wants to be in denial of this conspiracy theory. You know what I mean?
Well, I've known this for, I've been aware of this theory for years, but it was never anything that I thought you could put on YouTube. And maybe you still can.
Yeah, yeah.
We're going to test that theory.
Yeah,
But, you know, they say the truth will make you free.
Mhm.
And if you know the truth, if that is the truth, God forbid, we should know. Because if we don't know, we're going to be going on forever not knowing that we're being poisoned and made infertile and basically wiped out. They want to get, we're the carbon they want to get rid of. So I've known this theory for about 3 years. It looks like RFK Jr. is going to have a tough time. They're lining up against him.
Well, that big money.
The big money from the drug companies, the big money from the food industry,
And the medical.
and the medical, they're all lining up against, they got him in the sights.
Yep.
But hopefully, if he can get through, I think he will uncover the truth. You know, good, bad, or indifferent,
Well,
whatever it is. You know, you'd think that if these people were innocent, and they weren't trying to do anything bad to us, that they would welcome an investigation, wouldn't they?
well,
Let's clear our name.
if he did find out, he might not tell anybody because it could be very dangerous for him and his family.
It could be dangerous for a lot of people. This might be our last broadcast.